So buckle up, because this story is wild and honestly still gives me chills all these years later. When my son was born, I thought all hell broke loose. But nope, that was just the calm before a storm I never saw coming. My wife and I welcomed our baby boy in a small private hospital. Everything was perfect for about 48 hours. The nurses were amazing. The food was meh, but whatever. We were too exhausted to care. We planned for immediate family only to visit for a few hours, so just my wife's parents and her younger brother came by the morning. Now, here's where it starts getting batshit. Her dad was a convicted felon, spent years for armed robbery, obviously not invited to the birth, but her mom and brother have some sketchy history with drugs and borderline abusive behavior. I made it clear to my wife, no drugs around the baby, no weird guests, no drama. She agreed, but underestimated what her family was capable of. About 36 hours in, my wife's mom just needs a minute alone with the baby, and the nurse lets her, because, hey, Grandma wants to bond. What I didn't know was that the minute she stepped, my wife was asleep from exhaustion, so I confronted the mom outside. She flipped the hell out, screaming that I was disrespecting her, making accusations, denying everything. The nurse backed me up, but couldn't kick. Her out family is family, right? Fast forward to that evening, during visiting hours. This is when it got really insane. The brother showed up with a few of his friends, all looking like hardcore drug addicts or criminals. One dude had a rap sheet including assault and weapons charges. They just waltzed into the hospital room, acting like they owned the place, while my wife tried to hide our crying baby. At one point, one of them lit a cigarette right next to the hospital bed. I lost it and told them to leave immediately, but they laughed it off and basically dared me to call security. Security came, but apparently 4 adult men with clean hospital visitor passes aren't easy to remove unless they actually commit a crime. They stayed until visiting hours ended, smoking in the halls and intimidating the staff. The absolute kicker? The next morning, one of the friends offered to sell my mother-in-law some heroin right in front of me. I told my wife immediately, and she was finally furious enough to cut her mom and brother off entirely, something she'd been hesitant to do because family is important. But I couldn't just let them get away with terrorizing our family, so I hatched a little plan. I anonymously tipped off the police about their drug activities and hospital trespassing with evidence from security cameras. 2 weeks later, there was a massive raid at their house, and the brother and his friends were arrested on multiple drug and weapon charges. The mom narrowly avoided charges because she ran away and vanished for a while, but she hasn't contacted us since. My wife and I went no contact with her entire side of the family after that. We also moved to a different city where no one knew our story. It was rough because she lost her parents and brother, but honestly, our son's safety had to come first. So yeah, most insane thing my in-laws did when our baby was born? Basically turned the hospital into their drug den, brought in felons and addicts to visit, endangered our newborn's life, and forced me to become an undercover snitch to protect my family. Best part? At our son's first birthday party, not a single one of them was invited, and he's growing up happy and far away from the nightmare they dragged us into. Ada for reporting them? Nope. They lost way more than just a visit that day.